There's a photo that makes the rounds in trucking forums. It's a Scania V8 with an odometer ticking past 1,000,000 kilometers, 2 million. The caption often claims its engine has never been opened and it's still pulling heavy loads like it's brand new. While some cases are just legends, it's not entirely fantasy. Some well-maintained Scania V8s really do reach 1.5 to 2 million kilometers before a major overhaul is considered. Though a more typical range for major work on European trucks is closer to 800,000 to 1.2 million kilometers. Now, let's compare that to the story you might hear in the United States. Modern American engines from Cummins or Detroit are incredible machines, often designed to a B10 life of 1,000,000 miles. That's a statistical target, meaning 90% of those engines should hit that milestone without a catastrophic failure. Even so, many see major work closer to the 750,000-mile mark, and the perception of superior European longevity just won't quit. So, what's the secret? It's easy to assume European trucks, the Scanias, the Volvos, the MANs last longer simply because they're over-engineered. But that's only half the story. The real secret isn't just about beefier components. It's a surprising regulatory difference that gives the engine a completely different life. And that changes everything. The philosophy of longevity. First, let's talk engineering. There's a genuine difference in philosophy. In Europe, builders like Scania and Volvo have historically designed their engines with one main goal: push the need for a major rebuild as far into the future as possible. This isn't about avoiding a rebuild forever. That's a standard part of a truck's economic life anywhere in the world. The goal is to make as long as possible a very, very long time. They do this with meticulous design. We're talking about seriously robust cooling systems that minimize heat stress and an integrated approach where the engine, transmission, and axles are all developed to work in perfect, low-stress harmony. The entire system is fine-tuned to run smoothly and wear slowly, even when pulling a full load every single day. You might hear engineers mention wet sleeve cylinder liners, replaceable sleeves that form the cylinder wall. But that's not some secret European magic. Plenty of heavy-duty engines use similar tech, including many in North America. It's not about one single component, but the entire philosophy of building a powertrain where every piece is part of a long-term survival plan. The American approach, on the other hand, has historically been more focused on powerful, serviceable engines, where a rebuild is simply a calculated part of the business model. It's not better or worse, just a different answer to the same question. The real secret, a different life by law. But here's where the story takes a sharp turn. All the engineering in the world can't compete with the life an engine actually lives. And European truck engines live a fundamentally different life, thanks to the laws they operate under. Most people think American trucks haul heavier loads, straining the engine more. That's a huge oversimplification. In the US, the federal gross weight limit on the interstate system is generally 80,000 pounds. Yes, states can issue permits for much heavier loads. In the European Union, the standard limit for many common trucks is 40 metric tons. That's about 88,000 pounds. And for some transport, it can climb to 44 tons or nearly 97,000 pounds. It's important to note, however, that these EU rules are complex. Individual member states can allow for even higher national weights. So wait, if European trucks often haul times heavier times loads, how does that lead to a less strenuous life? According to some industry analysts, the answer lies not just in weight, but in how that weight is distributed, and most importantly, in the vehicle's total length. Europe has famously strict rules on the total length of a truck and trailer, typically around 18.75 meters or 61.5 feet. This one factor heavily influences why European trucks look the way they do. To squeeze out every inch of cargo space within that short footprint, the cab times has times to sit on top of the engine. This is the classic cab over engine or COE design. It's a design also born from the need to navigate tight city streets and historic infrastructure. In North America, the rules are different. There is generally no federal times, overall times, length limit for a tractor semi-trailer on the national highway network. Instead, regulations tend to focus on the trailer's length, which gives trucking companies the freedom to pair trailers with those massive, long-hood conventional tractors. While it's an interpretive claim and not a settled fact, some analysts argue this creates a different duty cycle. Both regions have demanding hauls, but the theory is that Europe's combination of axle weight rules and shorter, dense routes may lead to a less strenuous overall life for the powertrain compared to the coast-to-coast grinds in North America. The engine's perspective, RPM, and power. This operational difference directly impacts how the engines are designed. European engines are legendary for making power in a very specific way. Take the iconic Scania V8. It's famous for generating massive torque at incredibly low RPMs. Look at the specs and you'll often see its peak torque arrive between 1,000 to 1,350 revolutions per minute. The engine is built to pull hard without having to scream. Now, let's bust a common myth. The old stereotype is that European drivers cruise at low RPMs while American drivers are revving their engines high. Decades ago, maybe? But today, that's completely outdated. Thanks to the global push for fuel economy and down-speeding technologies, modern trucks on both continents are geared to cruise in a very similar, very low RPM range, a trend that typically sees them running between 1,100 and 1,400 revolutions per minute. The real difference isn't cruising RPM anymore. It's in the overall power philosophy. An American engine like a Cummins X15 is engineered to produce monstrous torque for the relentless cross-continental haul. But it's not alone. Top-tier European engines from Volvo or Scania also produce exceptionally high torque. The distinction is how that power is delivered within their different ecosystems. The American conventional has space for a massive cooling system to manage the heat of that power, while the European cab-over is an exercise in dense, efficient power generation. Marathon runner versus powerlifter. So, these two different paths, one driven by engineering and the other by regulation, have created two very different machines. It's like comparing a marathon runner to a powerlifter. Both are elite athletes, but they're optimized for totally different events. The European cab-over is the marathon runner. It's compact, agile, and built for endurance. Its short wheelbase and amazing forward visibility make it a master of navigating ancient cities and tight loading bays. The trade-off? The driver sits right on top of the front axle, which can make for a rougher ride, and serious engine work means tilting the entire cab forward. The American conventional is the powerlifter. It's all about brute force and comfort. That long hood isn't just for show. It houses a massive engine and a cooling system to match, perfect for pulling huge loads across thousands of miles of straight interstate. Engine access is a breeze, just pop the hood, and the ride quality is unmatched, with a long wheelbase that smooths out the road and enormous sleeper cabs that are basically mobile apartments. It is, without a doubt, the king of driver comfort for the long haul. These are two brilliant solutions to two very different problems, and every driver has their favorite. If you've spent time behind the wheel of either, or just have a strong opinion on which philosophy is better, let us know in the comments below. We read them all and want to know which side you're on. So, which truck is truly better? So, after all this, which one is actually the best? Honestly, that's the wrong question. The right question is, which is the better tool for the job? If your goal is maximum possible engine life before a major overhaul, the European truck makes a compelling case. Its entire design is geared toward long-term component survival. But calling it the clear winner is an oversimplification. Top-tier American engines are designed with 1,000,000-mile service life as a goal, and many well-maintained trucks reach this milestone, proving their own incredible durability. But if your priorities are raw power, unmatched driver comfort for continent-spanning journeys, and easier engine access, the American conventional is practically unbeatable. It's a machine perfected for the unique geography and infrastructure of North America. And the differences don't stop there. Europe has generally been more aggressive with safety rules. For instance, regulatory requirements for systems like Advanced Emergency Braking Systems (AEBS) on many new heavy trucks were in place years ahead of broad regulatory mandates in the US. The legendary longevity of European trucks isn't a simple story of being over-engineered. It's a fascinating example of how a machine evolves to perfectly fit its environment. The secret isn't just in the engine's steel and iron, but in a complex dance between engineering philosophy, geography, and decades-old regulations that shape everything from the truck's physical form to the very life its engine will lead. It was never about one side building a better truck. It was about two continents building the time's perfect times truck for their own unique challenges. And as the world pivots to electric and hydrogen power, this entire dynamic is set to change once again, sparking a whole new chapter in the rivalry between these two titans of the road. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe to Emily on Drive for more honest truck comparisons, industry insights, and automotive stories you won't hear anywhere else. Now it's your turn. Which would you trust to haul for 1,000,000 miles? Scania, Volvo, MAN, or Cummins, Detroit, and Peterbilt? Tell us why in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.